to Antarctica relationship to the any reptilians in Antarctica, or was that kind of out of scope?
The operatives knew about Antarctica. They knew about it.
They did, okay.
So, yes, that information went to Ricabada.
Okay,
And that was part of some of the things that were being programmed because one of the operatives, Bob, he was into a specific facility, and the facility was being packed up and being shipped to a different location.
okay.
And one of the other operatives at a different point, because we whenever we're discussing with the new operative, or one of the operatives just came in, we always ask if do they know what Jim is doing? Or have you seen Howard lately? Do you know what he's involved
But none of the operatives came from Antarctica, as far as you know.
No, but
Okay.
they said stuff is being shipped to the submarine base.
Okay,
And then another thing from a total different area, they have built massive truck submarines. The Germans had,
400 people, sort of thing.
yeah.
Okay.
But it's not just people, they would haul equipment too.
Did they ever talk about high energy weapons like lasers
Yes,
during the war?
yes.
During your debriefs, excuse me, that when the operatives are coming through, they were talking about the high energy laser weapons?
Yeah,
See, that's consistent with the report that's in one of the recent books I've read of a 400-foot submarine apparently had to surface, and they were sighted by a British destroyer or cruiser, and they killed the destroyer with laser weapons. And this was like in the late 44 or so. And I just read that like 2 weeks ago as a report.
and it's not that just they were researching them. The SS was given brand shiny new ones, okay? So you didn't have to start from scratch from a bunch of pieces of paper like what I'm giving to these companies to go try to make something like that.
And they weren't the Nordics providing this either. It was another group of extraterrestrials that had given the SS complete, a multitude, just different, 14 different types, did you say? There was a number that you had written, I don't recall, but
I
it
think
was more than one.
13.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 13 different types of hardware flying operable craft. Meanwhile, so we're here.
But I got the impression that on some of these, the Nazis mounted ordinary machine guns and weapons. But on others of them, apparently, they may have considered using laser weapons.
They did use the laser weapons on them, the bigger ones.
Okay. Were the laser weapons invented by the Germans or by the reptilians?
Reptilians.
Okay. See, that would be new information.
Yeah. The Germans, wait a minute, the Germans got real smart, okay? They were smart before this happened. Germans were very brilliant people, okay? Why they had to pick the SS to go do the thing that they were going to do, maybe they figured that what their missions are is not really very legal, okay? And it may be that that's the reason, but back to this information that comes in. You had other pieces of paper with different types of numerous numbering systems, okay, on it that weren't German. They weren't anything that we knew about. And so they would be identified by this numbering system. And of course, this was an extraterrestrial piece of paper, okay? And here it is. We're not going to tell you how it works. That's what we're asking you, Lockheed, to do. We're giving you a contract. You got to figure this out. So I'm getting this stuff from every place that I go with these documents. You know, you dumb a-hole or something, don't give us something like this. How do we do, what do we do with this?
Right, so they're calling you out because you've got really what amounts to what I mentioned earlier. It's like a post-it note with a stick figure. Here, go make a flying saucer.
It's not a request for a proposal.
It's
And so don't blame them for having a hard time trying to figure out what the hell does the Navy want us to do.
right. I remember asking about the Germans because they were provided the technology, but in the form of the hardware, but there also some documentation, teaching, and even they had some challenges interpreting the written script or whatever was provided to them. Is that accurate?
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
So they also had, they couldn't read what was given to them on the written page. You know, and here here are operatives somehow getting access to at least some of that, I would assume, bringing it back and expecting our people to do create something based on a subset of something they have.
But remember though, actually, they had reptilians there that looked like humans, okay? They had reptilian guys there that looked just like us that they could go ask to help us out here. We didn't have anything like that in the United States. We just had these frivolous packages with notes in them.
Do you think that any of the well-known Nazis that were photographed were actually reptilians?
I never thought that, but other people had said they thought some of them were.
Don't know yet.
I never thought it,
Okay.
but I don't know. But we're just trying to say, please, you've got to realize how hard this was on American organizations to take this information and run with it. And if you stop and think, what you just said was that somebody in the Navy gave Lockheed Aircraft Company one of these packages, and 4 years later the Skunk Works gets started. And so isn't this upside down with what you thought? And so, yes, the programs were secret in every one of the companies, organizations, but the information is leaking out. And eventually, the Skunk Works becomes reality. And it's sort of like a small think tank at Lockheed. But it starts from a package out of two-star admiral's office at North Island. Wow. It's interesting when you visualize this system that was going on and the complexities with which you're trying to help people do something when you don't give them the tools to do it.
Yeah, I'm sure others have asked you this question too. I mean, World War II, if the Nazis, the SS, whoever has been provided this, I mean, this is advanced technology based on what you're describing here. I mean, we couldn't hold a candle to any of that stuff. How did they lose the firing battle war with the bullets and all that? I mean, we went over there, we mowed over Europe, and we ferreted out all the Nazis, and yay, go America. America, right? NATO. We won over there. Did we win?
You didn't win the war. You did not win the war, okay? Even before the war started, a blonde young lady was contacted to put together a group of friends and be influenced by extraterrestrials to design and build a massive propulsion system in a large space transport.
Bob, did you have a thought you wanted to toss in there? You look like you had a.
No, I'm good. Okay.
And so
Oh yeah, so Maria Orsic.
yeah, Maria was doing this, okay? And she was doing it, some of it in Antarctica, okay? And So the SS finds out about this, and they confiscate all of the people and all the equipment and everything they're using and sort of make them slaves, but just for a very short period of time, less than 4 months. And then the SS gave it all back to them and said, you guys go ahead and work with the extraterrestrials you're working with. We're working with these extraterrestrials.
Doesn't that seem to run counter to whatever their agenda? Let's talk about the agenda. I mean, why would the reptilians give the SS all this technology? There's got to be some kind of agenda behind that. And if it's domination, whatever it is, why would they take it, especially advanced technology like that, and then give it back?
Okay.
Doesn't that run counter to the goal? I'm assuming the goal is they just want to take over the world or whatever.
Yeah. Well, all these ladies became the 1,442 people in that book right here, which is mentioned 5 or 6 times. So they felt that there would be possibly additional technical assistance to the young ladies and the men that are working this, okay? Her group, which may be beneficial to them, and we're going to let you develop your own. We've got all the assistance that we possibly could ever need to do this. So we took off, then the SS takes off on their own and goes past the young ladies and the other men that helped that organization.
But Walter's question was, if they had such technology, how come they let us win the war? And I guess the partial answer to that might be that they had their Hanabu 3, I think, in production, but I think they only were able to use it one night. Allegedly, they used it once and shot down a whole bunch of airplanes, but they didn't have enough to really defeat us in the air. That's point one. Point two is I think that they had kind of early on decided that they wanted to put their real strength down in Antarctica. So they shipped the majority of their UFO technology down there because their goal was really to go out into space, not necessarily just to beat the United States. But that's my speculation.
Yeah, and Bob is right with that. They go back to the missions, back to Hitler's mission with the extraterrestrials. First was Hitler wanted to take out all of the people he didn't like, the Jewish people. So you just take them out, whatever way. But secondly, you take every man, woman, and child on this planet and put them in these in-mountain production facilities all over Germany and the occupied country, building thousands and thousands and thousands of extraterrestrial vehicle, military space vehicle, and operate out in the galaxy with these, along with the reptilian naval battle groups, and do the same thing, enslave every planet they can find out there off of every star they could find.
But they never got thousands done before they lost the war.
Yeah.
What final word would you guys like to have before we close off this day?
Oh, but before Bob sits with his, let me try to say, the way Bob's going to say it eloquently. I'm just going to rough something.
I'll roll.
Personally, wait a minute. No, personally, I want to see this information disseminated out across the planet. Okay, I want the public to understand what has happened. I want that that they have sufficient information to bypass this problem. I don't believe anything you're saying, and start to accept this reality of extraterrestrials. Okay, and it's imperative to the people on this country to understand what their position is, and this needs to be fixed. And any help we can get from any extraterrestrials out there to counter some of these black hat people out there, this is great for us. We need to get everybody involved.
I've got a limited perspective at this point. I think there's two things that drive my thinking. One is the incredible sophistication that organizations, including governments, have had in keeping secrets. That's thought number one. And I believe that can be a convincing story, but it's a challenge because most people believe Washington can't keep secrets. And it's very difficult to get over that little hump. The second thing is I would say I'm not looking toward the aliens to solve our problems. I'm thinking that full disclosure will probably let the best results flop out. So I would say I'd go for full disclosure about everything, including disclosing things that would put a lot of people in jail because I think they deserve to be in jail. So those are my two main thoughts. And I think Bill's story really supports both of those arguments. Bill is himself trying to get the truth out. And I think the truth can set you free. Nothing wrong with that.
Indeed. Well, someday we'll have that, shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's better sooner than later.
Better sooner than later.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching my YouTube channel, Search for Truth Reality. This is today with Dr. Robert Wood. Thank you. And William Tompkins, as always, thank you very much. And we'll see you all next time.